but we have so many help wanted signs around on even some of our smaller mom and pop businesses just around our local communities. How will these people find the people they need for their small businesses?
Well, perhaps through networking, maybe the old-fashioned way. They're going to put out a virtual help wanted sign online and say, hey, I need somebody. But of those 5.4 million small businesses, those company startups, about a third of them are what's called their propensity. That means that they have the likelihood of needing more people. So, yeah, that's a pretty good proportion of those companies now that will be looking very soon to hire new people on.
All right, well, good for those people who decided, you know what, I'm going to do something different, or I'm going to make my dream come true. Good for them. Thanks so much, Jim. I appreciate it.
See you, Jim.
This is KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles from the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center. Let's go places like the 101.
You betcha. Good morning, Jen. Indeed. Good morning to you. If you're driving the good old 101 here across the San Fernando Valley, you're going to be okay, really. Coming out of Calabasas to Encino. Off to a pretty good start, even westbound. No Caltrans work right now, so it's a pretty easy drive. Now, we came across on the 134 and then went south 5. As I speak to you, we're circling over the 5 at Los Feliz. There was a homeless encampment fire. It's almost a given every morning. The LA City Fire must be tired of this one, but they had the off-ramp shut down for a minute, and they've moved off to Los Feliz right now, so I think they're going to leave. So the off-ramp is open again. That was northbound Los Feliz off. It's kind of slow coming up from the 110, but mind you, all lanes open. So far, so good. Southbound drive, but looking good. Don't go away. I think it's going to be a busy morning. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the sky.
If you've inherited a home, for example, or you simply want out of your house for whatever reason, that usually means listing the house at 6% with a real estate agent who then tells you to clean and paint, repair. And a buyer, prospective buyer walks through your house. Your house has to be spotless. Who lives like that? And the buyer walks through, you're not even there. So let me tell you another way of doing it, getting a fair price without any of that hassle, and that's directbuyers.com. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer. I mean, these are good people. I've spent hours with them talking about the business model. And boy, is it work. You sell your home, and you don't have any hassle. And there's a lot of people out there that lowball you, too. They will never, ever lowball you. Go to directbuyers.com, directbuyers.com, call 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated, and divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone, but you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's California area attorneys. 1455 Frazee Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. When my clients need solar, I call Sunlux. The best design, service, and equipment, and hands down the best warranty in the industry. Other companies sound confident, but Sunlux gives you real guarantees. If your solar ever fails to produce what it was designed to, Sunlux will pay the difference in your electric bill. That is the Sunlux difference, and it's why I say there are only 2 kinds of solar companies in Southern California: Sunlux and everyone else. Start saving money today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
Call Service Champions for their $88 professional AC tune-up at 833-777-7777.
SoCal weather from KFI, mostly sunny and warmer today. Highs will be from the low to mid-60s. I don't see any rain in the forecast, but that wind advisory in much of the valleys and the IE, it looks like it's going to stay in effect until 4 this afternoon. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the News starts now.
Handle on the News. Handle on the News. And now, here's Bill Handel.
And good morning, everybody. Bill Handel here on a Wednesday morning, hump day, February 16th, as we start the show. Good news today, if you want to celebrate the winning of the Super Bowl by the Rams. It'll be downtown L.A. starting at 11 o'clock. And as always, you say, it's my team. It's our team. It is not. It doesn't belong to you. You pay to be there.
If it's in your heart, it's your
And
team.
I've always wondered about that. And that's always been my shtick, if you will. It's my team. Well, don't you wish you had my team?
Yes, but
Then I
if
wouldn't be here. My assistant's assistant will be here this morning, as always. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning. And
see how we start the show, Mr. Curmudgeon. All right. Wayne, good morning.
Good morning. I don't want to stir up too much trouble, but Jen, did I hear you say they're estimating about 20,000 people
yes,
for today's?
and I was expecting more than that.
That's what I wanted
So
to
would
say.
I.
That seems
Low.
pitifully low.
It does.
It is in the middle of a workday.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah.
However, that seems very low.
It does seem low. There are more than 20,000 people, even with the reduction of the workforce being out there and everybody's at home and can go. It does seem a very, very low figure.
And I mean, people take the day off for these kinds of things a lot of times.
I don't
and,
know, the rally, the parade.
Oh, I've been watching people down there already this morning, lining the parade route.
Yeah.
They are ready.
Yeah, have you seen those signs? We have no life.
No.
Wow.
These are lifelong Rams fans who have the team in their heart who want to be there to celebrate them.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Tyler, good morning. All right.
Good morning, Bill.
Oh, there you are. Alex, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, we start today. So, some good news on the Ukraine-Russia front. The president is now warning that the invasion by Russia is distinctly possible as opposed to imminent. So there seems to be some movement, and then the family of Bob Saget has filed a lawsuit to block the release of records relating to his death. And these are public documents for the most part. And so the court does have the ability to block them. All right, guys, we've got stuff to carry this, to cover this morning, and let's do it with Handle on the News. Jennifer Jones, Lee, Wayne, and me. Lead story. It rained yesterday. It hailed yesterday. It was cold yesterday.
It is cold this morning.
Yeah, I left
Wow.
I left my house to pick up the mail in the front, and I was wearing shorts and a T-shirt. Oh, man. It was like I walked into a refrigerator. I mean, it was cold.
This
So-
is all because of this low pressure system that we got from Northern California. And it just came down our way and it's hanging out. But it should be out of here probably today. So we're going to see highs in the 60s again. Wind advisory, though, still in effect for the IE. And we could see 70s again by tomorrow.
Yeah, very weird weather.
Yeah.
And what's going on the East Coast. Man, today's storm is now flooding the East Coast. And then tomorrow it's today's storm is now flooding the East Coast. Followed by today's storm. Yeah, talk to me about climate change. It's just crazy. Have you watch the news, you watch the forecasters, the weather folks, and all you do is see these fronts going across the country. And it's just, it's crazy. It really is. Weather is, I got to tell you something. I do not envy my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, and thereafter. Progeny.
All right,
In
Matt.
perpetuity all throughout the universe?
I don't know about a perpetuity. I think we're doing a pretty good job of moving towards the Earth being a parking lot. And it's, no one's very, well, I'm certainly not thrilled about it.
You've got the mask mandates that have been lifted in LA County for outdoor mega events, which I would assume that means the parade today, and outdoors at K-12 schools and daycare centers. That's outdoors. The county health director says it's because hospitalizations stayed below 2,500 for 7 days in a row, so that meant the post-surge strategies could go into effect.
Yeah, it's coming down. I mean, the number of hospitalizations and deaths and reported cases are down like 80%. It's really good news. How cold is it going to be today? You had said, but do we have a forecast for the temperature today?
Yeah, just the 60s, low to mid 60s.
Oh, sorry.
Tomorrow we could be 70.
Got it. All right. I was looking at something else when you were saying that. and it goes to show you how much I pay attention.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, that's news to me.
And please take it personally.
I do.
So it's a question of how many people will be out there. Can you imagine if it happened yesterday? No one would be out there.
Oh, I thought about that. I thought, oh, please let this wrap up. It was crazy weather.
All right, so speaking of this parade and this celebration outside the Coliseum, it starts at 11. It starts near the Shrine Auditorium. If you are a real Thomas Guide person, the intersection of Royal Street and West Jefferson Boulevard, and it will go through University Park neighborhood. It will end up at the Coliseum. There's going to be a big celebration outside the east end of the Coliseum for about an hour. The parade's going to be about 45 minutes. Then an hour of celebration.
It's going to be short. That's going to be reasonable. And they're handing out 3 signs. I have no life. You know what? It really is a big deal. I'm just being a jerk about this.
If you are going to they're calling it a rally, but really, to me, a rally is when you're trying to win, and they already won. So to me, it's more of a celebration. But anyway, semantics. If you're going to go to that thing outside the Coliseum, you will have to show proof of full vaccination or a negative antigen test within 24 hours or a negative PCR test within the past 48 hours.
Good point, because the mask...
So you know, I don't want someone to show up and be caught off guard.
To your point, the mask mandate is lifted, but not the request for vaccination. Again, I went with my daughter to a Chinese restaurant. I forgot the name of it, but great. It was a dim sum restaurant, Century City. You have to show double vaccination. They don't let you in the door. Restaurants all over the place. So that has not, that requirement has not been lifted. Especially in LA County, where businesses on their own are doing this. I mean, it may be, that may be forever, showing the vaccination. If I owned a restaurant, you're doing it. That's it.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out, if you really are interested in the parade, but you can't get there, live coverage on AM 570 LA Sports starting at 11, David Vassay and Tim Case.
Okay, and it should be interesting. I have the double-decker buses, and the cheerleaders will be there. It's, thank God it's
and there's a as yet to be revealed entertainment.
Oh,
at the event outside the Coliseum. Now, if they're pulling this, we're not telling you yet. It better be big.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can't put the mystery about it, and then it's another Beatles cover band.
Yeah, I'm assuming that there are enough high-end entertainment bands or entertainers that are Rams fans that will do it. Hey, what's going on in Arizona, Jennifer?
Well, the state is a step closer to a ban on new abortions. The Senate in Arizona just passed a bill that now goes to the House. It would prevent women from ending their pregnancy after 15 weeks. Two U.S. senators will introduce a bill that would protect kids online. It's called the Kids Online Safety Act, and it would require social media platforms to provide parents with tools to protect their kids from harmful content online. And Paramount Plus is betting on more Nickelodeon content. The streaming service announced yesterday it's got 3 new SpongeBob SquarePants spin-off films, including a movie focusing on Sponge himself. Your SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a sunny, windy day ahead. Temperatures will just be in the low to mid-60s. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. We're going to check the 110.
You betcha. Boy, we're looking at it right now. It's kind of busy coming up from South LA. That's kind of a given. I'm sure you're used to that. But I just want to give you a heads up for everybody. You're Wayne and Bill and Jen, everybody talking about the parade starts at 11. We just had a look at the surface streets around the Coliseum, the Shrine and all that. It's getting busy. Figueroa is still open if you'd like to use that instead of the 110 in the morning. It's still in pretty good shape. But we'll keep tabs on this. We'll let you know when things start closing down. But we do expect some closures. And again, Figueroa for the moment is open. Now, I want to warn you about something, Quail Lake. If you're driving north, the 138 approaching the I-5 is shut down. It's supposed to stay that way for about 3 hours. We'll figure out what's going on and let you know. Don't go away. Jeff Bond, KFI in the sky.
Show your baby's teeth some love by scheduling a dental visit by their first birthday or when their first tooth comes in. Get more tips for healthy smiles at ChooseHealthLA.com. Again, that's ChooseHealthLA.com.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Save on dinner staples at Whole Foods Market. Get animal welfare certified 80% lean ground beef for $3.99 per pound through February 22nd, plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
Bridge Depot. Can I help you?
Yes, I need a new refrigerator. Our old one just died.
Sounds great. Of course, with supply chain issues, the fastest we can have one out to you is about a year.
What do I do with all this food?
I love this dress. Do you have it in a size 6? It's out of stock right now, but we have an order coming sometime next winter.
Never mind.
System Favors, may I help you?
Yes, I need a new driveway, but I'm sure there's a long wait.
Not at all. Our team is ready to go, and we have tons of favors in stock. In fact, with great financing options and virtual consultations, we can start your remodel right away.
Seriously?
You deserve an outdoor makeover on your schedule. Act now to take advantage of low pricing and special financing. Start by calling System Favors at 800-PAVE-004 or visiting systemfavors.com today. System Favors, building timeless beauty together. All orders must be placed by February 28th. Financing subject to third-party approval. Select product supply. See website for full details. Contractor's license 661575.
Get back to visiting new and exciting places across the U.S. on Amtrak. It isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. Without busy airports or cramped car rides. With no middle seats, extra legroom, and even private rooms. Book now at Amtrak.com. Adventurous journeys just an Amtrak away.
Hey LA, are you looking for a refi or new home loan? Kick Mortgage gives you a free instant rate quote with no credit check. Working with another lender? No problem. Kick will beat their current refi or purchase rates or give you $1,000. But you have to act now. Call 877-818-CAKE and put your home equity to work. 877-818-2253. NMLS number 1734623. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today with 1-877 Cars for Kids. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights. Also on the web at carsforkids.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
We're all doing the cheap headline nonsense, right?
These people are all surrounded by highly educated, experienced political operatives.
Whose job it is to manipulate your emotions.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
And make you feel comfortable with the candidate.
On KFI.
And welcome back. Bill Handel here on a Wednesday morning, February 16th. We continue on with Handel on the news. Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne, and me.
Handel, you mentioned this when you started the show. Bob Saget's family has sued to block the release of the public records that are related to the actor's death. The family attorney says that the family would suffer irreparable harm in the form of extreme mental pain, anguish, and emotional distress if more details about the death investigation are released.
I don't buy that. I mean, in reality, everybody who has a family member of any importance could do this because everybody has access to this when records are released. But I was talking to Wayne during the break about this, came up with a very good. Well, they're saying that according to the autopsy report, he had multiple skull fractures. Base of the skull, the roots of the orbit, which is the eye socket, a subdural hematoma, additional hemorrhaging. That's not he bumped his head on something and didn't even realize it was a big deal and went to bed. That's a significant head trauma. And so it just makes me wonder what part of this story is not accurate, because we were told two things. Head hit his head, but also he was found lying in bed peacefully, yeah, with no indication of anything. Yeah, no indication of a grimace or pain or whatever. But I wonder if he did fall or something and really hit his head hard. No, that is a good point. Didn't get into bed nicely, not realizing that there was a problem. And then I wonder, why is the family doing this? If all he did was hit his head and he didn't realize it was a big deal because it didn't hurt that much or whatever, and he went to bed and unfortunately he died, why are they, I don't know, and it could have gone, I would think they would have gone the other way. You talk about the dangers of any kind of head injury and you call 911 right there, because the possibility of a stroke, possibility of aneurysm is so great. And it's a way to, it's like Katie Couric with rectal cancer. that her husband died of. She used that as a reason to go public and tell us these are the dangers. You have to get colonoscopies, etc. Okay, the family of the cinematographer who was killed on the set of the film Rust has now sued the producers, including Alec Baldwin, saying there was a callous disregard in the face of safety complaints. And one of the things that they have is a text exchange. This definitely doesn't look good. A camera operator texted a unit production manager and said, "We've now had 3 accidental discharges. This is super unsafe." And the production manager responded, "Accidental discharge on the firearm? Awesome. Sounds good." Yeah, it's going to be a huge settlement. I mean, there's no way this is going to go to trial. And the only issue is Alec Baldwin personally going to be held negligent. I don't think so. There, other than the allegation of he turned down and would not attend a safety course dealing, because it was not just shooting a gun. It was cross-draw, and they're alleging that he did not get trained and didn't want to get trained on how to refuse the training. So I think that's not really relevant to what happened. I mean, if you think about it. That's true, because they were in a rehearsal, and he's claiming he didn't pull the trigger, that the gun just went off. And we don't know about that. But you also have this problem. So if they're doing a setup, you would use a rubber gun for a setup. You're not filming it, even, or if you have the camera on it. This is not the point. Why we say, why did you have an actual operating weapon during the setup part? And I don't know what protocol is during. Well, that would be the protocol. I don't know. Rubber, you would have. I don't know that for a fact. If you're doing, I do. Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah. If you're doing a setup as opposed to actually filming, even if you're rolling on it for some reason, but it's not to be a tape, you wouldn't have an operating weapon. If there was a reason, some reason that you needed the gun that you're using in the setup to look exactly the same as the gun, you would have a duplicate of that gun with the barrel completely plugged. And they had a gun that was fully operational. And it was a replica. It was not even, it was not an antique. It was not a manufactured gun. It was so you could have had 2 of them, and one of them has a completely plugged barrel, and the other one is operational for when you're actually. So I'm just saying, so many basic rules of set safety were not followed here. And at what point does it become, actionable? Well, I don't think we're ever going to know, because there'll be a settlement. I'm convinced of that. So when there'll be a settlement, no liability, we don't know anything about it, an NDA is filed, there was no gun, we don't believe in guns, and thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Let's move on.
You want to move on to this NDA?
Sure.
Sorry. So yesterday we were reporting that Prince Andrew had settled with Virginia Giuffre in his sex abuse lawsuit. She's the one who said she was sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and made to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was underage. Well, turns out this might have been because of a birthday celebration. And Prince Andrew apparently was pressured by the royal family to come up with this settlement, in part so that any negative spotlight from the trial wouldn't distract what is set to be a historic year for the Queen. She will have 70 years on the throne. It's the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration, and they've already started planning this. Obviously, this has been in the works for years. They've got the star-studded concert, that sort of thing. And the last thing that they need is Prince Andrew's little gray cloud hanging over that Jubilee celebration.
And it's not so little. Well, it's still hanging over it. Sure it is. I mean, however, it's not like nobody's going to go away. But it's going to go away. It will disappear, much like Charles with Diana, that scandal, and Camilla, that scandal, and so it's going to disappear. And then the Queen's sister had all kinds of scandals, but it all disappeared, and that's what's going to happen here. And here the story is the Queen really pressured him, settle this thing now, and so. He's not going to be going to too many parties in Buckingham Palace in the future, the near future. Well, another casualty at CNN, Alison Gollust, who was the Executive Vice President, Chief Marketing Officer, has resigned. She is the woman who was having the consensual relationship with Jeff Zucker, who also resigned. And there you go. They're both gone. Yeah, it is more than just he failed to tell the authorities or tell his bosses at the had this affair, this consensual affair. No one's arguing that, and they're hitting him for, gee, you should have told us. So those are the rules. It also has to do with him backing Chris Cuomo in a big way.
Yeah, and probably has something to do with this next story.
Chris Cuomo. We might now know why he was fired, because CNN apparently learned of a sex attack during what was supposed to be an office lunch with this young coworker. So according to this woman, Chris Cuomo invited her to his office for lunch under the pretext of giving her advice on obtaining full-time employment at the network in 2011. But when the woman got there, there was no food, and she says Chris Cuomo badgered her for sex. When she declined his advance, he reportedly attacked her. And then 5 years later, you have the Me Too accusations around other anchors, and Cuomo apparently contacted his accuser to do a flattering piece about her then employer, according to the article. And his outreach attempt, they say, was an attempt to test the waters and discourage her from going on the record about his sexual misconduct.
Yeah, normally, and this is not just out of the blue that someone has come up with this allegation. The report is that she had actually told coworkers what had happened at that time, which gives a lot of credibility. And he invites her to lunch.
No lunch.
No lunch. Now, here's the takeaway here. If you're inviting someone to lunch, have some lunch there. For God's sake, at least have some food. A sandwich, maybe. Chips and dip and something to drink. That's legal advice.
That's the takeaway?
Wow, that's the legal takeaway here.
Moral of the story.
Okay. Oh, let's do one more. Oh no, U.S. men's hockey team has been eliminated in the Olympic quarterfinals. They were beaten by Slovakia. I mean, the game did go to a shootout, ended 3-2, so they held their own, but they couldn't get past the Slovaks.
No, and it's gone from the men's hockey team, one of the most amazing stories in Olympic history, the Dream Team having beaten the Russians. If you remember that, and the Russians were an absolute professional team outright. They were members of the Russian military, but their entire job was to be a professional hockey team. And the Americans, who were amateurs, truly amateurs, beat Russia. And it was
an inspiring story.
It was. I mean,
how dare a country send a team to the Olympics made up entirely of professional players of the sport
basketball? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is later on. That happened later on, and now you can switch countries. You can do anything. Get paid $1 zillion, and there's plenty more that we're going to cover. Jennifer.